know who saved the season? Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan with that incredible play call for Jawan Jennings. Now, I'm going to get to Brock in a minute. And Brock was a big reason the game was close. I mean, anytime you throw 2 picks in one game, it's not a good game. And I think we've seen Kyle Shanahan call plays for this team for so long. And when he starts going to the double reverse pass for Jawan Jennings, he used to do that for Deebo Samuel back in the day. He did that a lot in 2021 when they were in the playoffs on the road. Didn't they do it against the Cowboys? Didn't Deebo ask for the play? It's been a long time. And I don't have the best memory. I'm 87 years old. But didn't Deebo go to Kyle and say, give me the ball? And did he run a vert? Did he throw a touchdown pass? He was throwing touchdown passes left and right in that playoff run, wasn't he? I asked Kyle what the play was called, and he said it used to be a play for Deebo. So why is it significant that he used to call that? He would call that play when he started to lose confidence in his quarterback, which, I mean, those picks were brutal. But to be fair to Brock, I put those picks on Kyle as much as Brock. Were the passes well thrown? No. But who called those passes? What do we talk about all week? Kyle, you can't get greedy. And the numbers were out there. Like, the Eagles are the best defense in the league at defending passes over the middle. The numbers were out there. The evidence was in. And when Brock got intercepted, he was throwing over the middle. And he was throwing to Quinyon Mitchell, who's an elite corner, who was covering Sky Moore and Jake Tonjes. I don't like those play calls. Maybe Kyle Shanahan was designing the play to go to someone else outside the numbers. But to me, I don't want to just put this all on Brock. I used to do that all with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think now that we've seen Kyle Shanahan with multiple different quarterbacks, the interceptions are always the same. Over the middle, forced. So is it on Brock? Yeah, man. Like, you can't throw those passes, but he won, and I think it's also on Kyle. So Kyle, great game. Not all of your play calls were great, but the play call for Jawan Jennings was great. You were losing a little confidence in Brock Purdy. Maybe Brock Purdy was losing a little bit of confidence in Brock Purdy. You set him up with that, with those poor passes over the middle. But you saved it with that great call. He said that it was Klay Kubiak's idea. That Klay was the one that came up to him. I guess that was the first play of the fourth quarter. So they talked about it all throughout the break. Klay brought it up. And it's cool that this team has a play like that when they start to lose confidence in whatever they were doing on offense or whatever their passing game was. Without George Kittle, they weren't going to win that game straight up. They had to do something clever, and they did. As opposed to the Eagles, did they do anything clever on offense in this game? I mean, they just, oh my goodness. Have they fired their offensive coordinator yet? Like, he should be fired right now. He shouldn't be wearing Eagles attire anymore. But that's none of my business. Kyle Shanahan, I thought he was coaching a terrible game until that he called that play in the fourth quarter. They were down 6 entering the fourth quarter. Isn't there a stat about Kyle Shanahan when he's losing entering the fourth quarter? He generally loses. But he had this play up his sleeve. Last week, I felt like it was same old Kyle, same old choke job Kyle, and now maybe you give this guy 8 days to prepare and he's money. Now, this is Sunday, right? They play the next game in Seattle on a 6-day week. They play on Saturday. Does that mean that Kyle's all of a sudden going to lose his edge and he won't be a good coach anymore? I don't know. But you got to give Kyle Shanahan credit. That play call for Jawan Jennings was probably the best play call of his tenure with the Niners, considering they were down 6. And if they don't pull off that drive, they probably lose. And I love that Kyle Shanahan gave the credit to Klay Kubiak after the game, because he could have taken it for himself. But and by giving the credit to Klay Kubiak, who knows? Maybe that makes it more likely that Klay won't be on the team next year. That some team that needs an offensive coordinator will want him, and he'll go because it would be a promotion. He doesn't get to call plays on this team. He gets to suggest plays for Kyle. But I love that for Kyle. I mean, Kyle could have taken the credit. Yeah, man, I drew it up, and we knew. I had a feeling. Nah, Klay came to me and said it was the right call at that time. I love that. Because part of me, when I'm down on Kyle, I think of him as like the cool kid in class who takes credit for his friends' work. And he didn't do that today. I love that for him, and I love that for the 49ers. He seems to really respect Klay Kubiak, and that's good. They're doing a good job together.